नमस्ते दर्शकबिन, आज हामी हङकङको लेजिस्लेटिभ काउन्सिल विधान परिषदमा आइपुगेका छौँ। हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ सिभिक पार्टीका विधायक क्लाउडिया मो। आज हामी उहाँसँग लामो अन्तरङ्ग कुराहरू गर्नेछौँ। आशा गर्छौँ सधैँझै यहाँले यो इन्टरभ्यूलाई इन्जोय गर्नुहुनेछ। Dear viewers, today we are at the Legislative Council and with us we have Claudia Mo, the legislator from the Civic Party, and we'll be talking with her on different topics. Basically, we'll be focusing on the ethnic minority community, the Nepalese in special, and also about Hong Kong. Hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to the show, Ms. Mo.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. How may I address you?
Well, Miss Mo, maybe.
Okay, so basically, let me focus on the Nepalese society first. Let's go directly to the point. How do you understand the Nepalese community here in Hong Kong?
My first encounter with the Nepalese community was about 9 years ago, back in 2007, I think. Yes, 2007. And a friend of mine works for the Caritas organization. He's a social worker. And he invited me to join a harvest festival of the Nepalese community. We were going about in the suburban areas, country park or something, and it's quite an experience. And then from then on, I've attended several Nepalese carnival variety shows, but I do have a little complaint, and that is people tend to be late. One variety show was scheduled to start at 8 o'clock in the evening, so I was sitting there waiting, and it didn't start till around 9:15.
Actually, we were also quite late today, but then we did not find your office. Actually,
I know. Well, that's excusable. It's quite a neighborhood here, and you were going around the
okay, let's talk. Let's talk about the Gurkhas. Like, it's been like Nepalese are also referred to as Gurkhas. How do you remember the legacy of Gurkhas in Hong Kong?
Yes, the Gurkhas. It's something very touching. I mean, of course, some people would say it's got nothing to do with Chinese. It's all British, right? You were working for the British government at the time, as part of the British Army. But then you're very much part of Hong Kong. I mean, there's something so unique about Hong Kong. When it comes to ethnic minorities in Hong Kong, you're probably the oldest sort of camp in the community. So we really should appreciate that part of history. And as of today, it's no longer history. You're very much part of Hong Kong. And I, as a Hong Konger, I do feel a bit embarrassed, if not actually ashamed, that the Nepalese community in Hong Kong doesn't seem to have been looked after well enough by the government.
So let's talk about the journalism in Hong Kong. Since you have been a journalist in Hong Kong, you have been involved with AFP, RTHK and all, yes. What we understand is that the mainstream media in Hong Kong doesn't present the Nepalese society quite well, if not, like, if I can say, quite prejudiced thoughts about the Nepalese community and especially the ethnic minority community. What do you feel about that?
I quite agree with your observation. The mainstream media in Hong Kong are basically Chinese language, right? And I'm sure everyone would still remember that tragedy involving homeless at the time, a person, Mr. Limbu, right, being shot dead by a Hong Kong police officer here. And I was really upset about that, because I could imagine that story, if it had happened elsewhere in some Western society, the amount of public furor it would have caused. But then in Hong Kong, one major Chinese newspaper actually dismissed the victim as some sort of vagabond, a street wanderer, a homeless person, sort of never mind kind of attitude. That's more than said. It's blatant, naked prejudice. It's not just racial. It's probably social as well. That the Nepali community in Hong Kong is, you're not rich enough, you're not powerful enough, so you could be neglected. So I really think the community must fight on. But then my personal feel is that perhaps I could be wrong. Many Nepalese people in town are too reserved. They would complain, but only amongst ourselves, right? Sort of whisper a bit how you get mistreated at work, at school, in the street, and so on. But to actually come out and talk, speak out, most seem to be a bit too shy about that.
Okay, let's talk about the education of the Nepalese children here in Hong Kong. What is your understanding about the Nepalese children going to school in Hong Kong? There's a problem, like they can't attain the university, like they quite drop out at Form 5 or even Form 6. There's a problem. There's a large gap between
I
this.
know.
So what do you think? What would have to change to take more of these Nepalese students to the university? What do you feel about that?
We need to make changes to the education system. I have to tell you about one of the first cases I tried to help with after joining the Civic Party back in 2006. Is a Nepalese young lady. She's very brilliant and so on. She wanted to study English, I think, at the time at Baptist University, but she didn't have Chinese. And we were asking the university to sort of waive the requirement, but it didn't work out in the end. But not that the story didn't end unwell. She managed to get into Open University, and she's now a professional teacher in English.
Yes.
Yoo-hoo! Still, she made it. But I'm just trying to show off that I did know about the education problems way back, and the fact that our Nepalese kids, just like Pakistani, Filipino, or Indian kids, right? They have a hard time learning Chinese properly at school. The Hong Kong government's not sincere, I would use the word. The Hong Kong government's not sincere to teach ethnic minority students Chinese properly. But of course, they can also blame the fact that we simply do not have enough teachers who can teach Chinese in English.
Let me stop you here. Like there are also, like, Hong Kong is considered as Asia's world city.
So it calls itself.
Yes. So maybe we'll be able to do without Chinese as well here, like speaking in English, maybe a little of Chinese or Cantonese, we can say. So I think we must consider that part as well. Don't you think so?
Well, that's a difficult question because when it comes to population composition, the fact is up to, I think, 97, if not more, percent of the local population is of ethnic Chinese origin.
But the demography shows like it's about 96%, 94% of them are ethnic Chinese, and 6%.
94%.
Yes, and 6% are the ethnic minorities.
Well, still,
here.
the Chinese hold a vast majority.
yes,
so
yes.
what do you say? One thing that's really, really worrying is how Beijing handles Hong Kong these days. I'm sure you've heard of that white paper on Beijing's policy on Hong Kong, issued, I think, around June last year or the year before. Anyway, in this paper, the Beijing leadership just keeps talking about the great Chinese nation, the great Chinese race, blood thicker than water, and so on. So you guys, as long as you're not of Chinese blood, you're not a Hong Konger. You're not a Hong Kong person. As a matter of fact, as far as Beijing's concerned, you can just go away. It's a very unkind, almost brutal sort of presentation. I'm very upset by the fact that the Hong Kong English press, I mean, there's only one newspaper left now, basically, didn't pay too much attention to that. It's racist. The way they put it, it's all racist.
Thank you for having soft heart for the ethnic minorities, especially the Nepalese. Thank you from our side as well. Now let's talk about the middle-aged Nepalese here in Hong Kong. Usually they are moreover they are in blue-collar jobs, like they call it. Yes. So what do you think should be done for the betterment of these population? What do you think about?
I do have this general impression. Do correct me if I'm wrong, right? The Nepalese community in Hong Kong seems to be, reminds me of Chinese communities overseas, but a century ago. The Chinese immigrants who went to Canada, the United States, or even UK, or in more recent years, Australia, they tend to cluster together, celebrate our own festivals, and speak our own language, eat our own food, and observe our own customary rules, and seem to sort of distance themselves from the actual environment they're living in. But I suppose that's just human nature. I mean, you want some sense of security with your own people. But the thing is, I think you need to also reach out. I would like to help, but I've hardly get one complaint case because people just they're quite open talking about mistreatments and unpleasant experiences in daily life. But for them to actually come out and speak up and complain, well, even if you don't want to take it to the press, right? You would need to speak about it, right? So I urge you, if you hear of, or if you come to know of any unjust cases, please do refer them to me. I'll do whatever I can I can help.
Thank you very much. Now let's talk about the Civic Party and the Nepalese here in Hong Kong. How are you connected to the Nepalese here in Hong Kong?
Not much, I have to confess. I used to know Mr. Rai of the Rai Association, but over the years we seem to have lost contact with each other. I think Mr. Rai at a time was more concerned about trying to get right of abode in the UK for Gurkha descendants in Hong Kong. So that's sort of above me. There's something beyond me. I mean, UK right of abode, I don't think I can be of much help, yeah? So after that, no, we haven't got that much liaison with each other. I hope to do better.
So you believe that, like, you accept that you haven't been quite much as you would have liked to be with the Nepalese community, is it?
I would acknowledge that, yeah. On Saturday, last Saturday, yeah, today's what, Thursday, right? I had lunch with a group of ethnic minority friends. There was a Nepalese couple there, and they're all very sweet and very agreeable, but they're also quite quiet. So I hope the noisiest or the most outspoken is a young Pakistani girl, I think. Yeah, so I think you need to make more noise in this community.
So what are your plans as a Civic Party member and as a legislator? What are your plans for the future? Like, how are you planning to go to the community, the EM community? What are your plans?
Now, I've come to know, as I was saying just now, this very outgoing and smart and cheerful girl, and she speaks all kinds of languages. I'm afraid, except Nepalese. But then I'm thinking that maybe through the younger members of the ethnic minority community, I can reach out more. My election promises, basically four subjects. Press freedom, because I was a journalist by training. I think I've done, well, okay, yeah, fairly enough, right? The teaching of English, I've done a lot about that too. And the third thing is animal rights. I thought that's also important. I just haven't done enough for the local ethnic minorities, mainly because they don't usually reach out, and I can understand. I mean, we have professionals like social workers, teachers, lawyers, right?
Yes.
But because of their professional background, it's very difficult for them to come out and speak on social issues, or sort of alleging, people would say, racial bias and so on. And so you can understand, we can only talk in private. But I think we need a stronger, louder noise over this.
Okay, now let's talk about you yourself. You were elected from the Kowloon West constituency, as a Civic Party legislator. We believe like Kowloon West is basically loosely based on like Yao Sim Mong district and also Yao Sim Mong, I believe, if I'm not
Anyway,
wrong.
from Chim Sha Tsui to
Chimsha
Mei Fu.
Mei Fu, yes, yes.
The stretch,
Yes.
yeah.
There are a lot of Nepalese voters here.
Shanghai Street in particular.
We believe like in Yamatai itself alone in Yao Sim Mong, maybe we are around we are 10,000 people there. Nepalese,
really?
Yeah, Nepalese.
10,000,
yes,
eh? Yeah.
Among them, maybe about 6,000 to 7,000 would vote for the election. What are your plans to reach the Nepalese community there?
Well, I tried last time too. I had my Nepalese girlfriend, very young lady. She translated quite a few of my pamphlets into Nepalese for me. So I was quite impressed. I couldn't read the language, but I hope it reached out. I might be doing the same thing. Yeah, you remember that the horrendous earthquake the last year, in Kathmandu. I attended some fundraising event in Central, and I bumped into quite a few Nepalese the people there, but then we're all busy and we haven't been in touch. I'll pick up the phones again.
Yeah. Actually, like a lot of Nepalese people doesn't even know that they have the right to vote as well at times. It's quite difficult as well. I remember I was here in 2012 in Hong Kong. You were outside MTR exit, Jordan exit A. You were outside there. You were distributing pamphlets there. I remember that time. And it was the same time that you were elected as a legislator in the Legislative Council.
No, I'm not a politician by nature, nor by training. So I find it slightly embarrassing, if not actually uncomfortable, to talk about, let's grab the votes of the Nepalese community. I don't use the issue for getting votes, right? It's rather yucky, I thought. It's just like my English teaching, or talking about animal welfare, cats and dogs and what have you, dolphins, right? I really feel people need to be honestly hearty. You're truly involved in issue. You cannot pretend that, let me talk about a certain topic, and that's good for grabbing voters. That sort of attitude. So I never pretended that I'm interested in medical issues or housing. I mean, of course, I would concern myself with people who's got fantastic housing problems, but housing as such, right? And as a matter of fact, to sum up my more than 3 years at LegCo these days, specific issues aside, my major fight is to retain Hong Kong's Hong Kongness. And you're a Hong Konger.
Yes.
I'm a Hong Konger. Our photographer friend, our FM here, we're all Hong Kongers, right? You are,
Yes,
of course.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
You've been here for more than
Yes,
7 years.
yes.
Yeah. So Hong Kong's supposed to be a global cosmopolitan city, and we're supposed to speak fairly good English as well. English being a global language, but well, you know, I know things have been deteriorating.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me remind you, like in 2008, you had stood for the legislative council, but you did
lost.
You did not make it. How does it feel like getting elected in the legislative council in 2012?
As I was saying, I'm no politician by training nor by nature. So the 2008 attempt wasn't full-hearted enough. As far as I could see, thinking back, speaking with hindsight, I didn't try hard enough. And why did I bother to try it again? I thought of not bothering, but then something happened back in 2010, and that's 2 years away from the 2012 election. I was spurred on. I felt I was being kicked about by one particular local press media, a local press label. And I thought, you think by making things difficult for me, you would scare me away, scare me off? I'll just fight on and let you see. And I did it.
So now let's talk about democracy. What is democracy for you?
Democracy is people's self-determination. It's very important for the people to decide what they want. We may make mistakes. I mean, the Germans make mistakes about Hitler. They elected him in, but then they realized afterwards they got it wrong, right? The good thing, the essence about democracy is that you can vote out after you've made a mistake to put somebody in office. And things wouldn't just go on forever and ever. We do not need autocracy. We do not need totalitarianism. Democracy may not be the best, but then it's the best that's been tested by human civilized society so far.
Let's talk about your book. You have also written a book, is it?
Well, I've written quite a few books, about a dozen.
About democracy, last year book about democracy.
It's not exactly about democracy. It's using the name of, under democracy, I was teaching English, really. The origin of the umbrella movement. Why umbrella? Because we used it to fight off pepper sprays, thank you.
Okay, now let's... Given a choice, it may be a tough question, given a choice to choose between democracy and prosperity, or let me put it in other way, given a choice to choose one between freedom and prosperity, what would you choose?
Freedom, of course. I mean, why? I'm not trying to sound great or grand. The thing is, if you think, oh, well, prosperity, let's have some live in a shelter, got fed, and sleep tight at night, snug and warm, we'll be animals. We'll be living in a zoo. We got a cage, we sleep inside, we get fed regularly, but that's an animal's life, not a human life. We need some dignity. However, I love cats and dogs. They do pee and poo-poo all over the place because they're cats and dogs. Humans do not do that. We do claim to be civilized. We do claim we live life with some decency, and the word humanity must be embraced. We cannot pretend we're just animals living in a zoo.
So now we are about to wrap up the program. Like, what are your plans for the future now?
Oh, that's a good question. Shall I run again or shall I not? the coming September, right? You know how the young people feel in Hong Kong. So everyone's saying that you should give opportunities to the young. But how young is young? How old is old, right? I'm not young. I have two sons. My eldest son's 31, and I just had my birthday a few days ago. I'm 59. I'm ancient. But am I so ancient that I can't work anymore? So I can't. I haven't made up my mind. Why didn't I take up politics when I was younger? Because at the time I had to look after my two sons. I had a young family, and at the time I had to look after my rather old parents. They were ancient, but they have since passed away, and my sons have grown up. Now I have got so much time, all the time in the world to do what I can do. Except I'm getting rather old, I know.
59 is not that old, we believe. Like you can give a try once.
We'll see.
Okay, now we are at the end of the program. Like anything that you'd like to tell to the Nepalese community, your message, or anything that I did not ask you, like you'd like to tell. Yes.
No, I'll just say some cliche things, but they're from the bottom of my heart, right? Guys, speak up and speak out. Work hard, but also play hard.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you again for having me.
दर्शकबिन हामीसँग हुनुहुन्थ्यो क्लाउडिया मो लेजिस्लेटिभ काउन्सिलका सदस्य सिभिक पार्टीबाट उठ्नुभएको उहाँ हामीले उहाँसँग लामो अन्तरङ्ग कुराहरू गऱ्यौँ आशा छ यहाँहरूले यो सो इन्जोय गर्नुभयो धन्यवाद नमस्ते